welcome to lesson 49, Math Marbles. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to evaluate numerical expressions. This means how to do everything, showing that you can evaluate with exponents, that you can follow order of operations to solve an expression, and that you can keep your thinking really visible and organized in your work. So those are the three things that your teachers are going to look for that show that you understand how to do this skill. So I'm going to go back a little bit because I see this meme all the time. Order of operations was invented about 100 years ago, and yet people are constantly arguing about order of operations. So I see this meme everywhere. And if you're on social media, people are always arguing about who has the right answer. I'm not going to tell you who's right now. We'll think about it at the end. I'm going to start by rewriting and giving ourselves a lot of space. And let's use our order of operations, starting with first looking for anything that's in parentheses and just scanning. I see nothing in parentheses. So we're going to skip to the next one, which are exponents. And we see one right here. I like to use my highlighter to identify what we're going to work on. And we just talked about exponents and expanding this out. 9 to the second power does not mean 9 times 2. It means 9 times 9. So let's do that one. We know this is the same as 9 times 9. And I'm going to put that in parentheses just so we can see it, and we know that's 81. I just wanted you to see where I got that, so I know I didn't just do 9 times 2. Okay, now we have to multiply or divide from left to right. So I have to start from here until I find here's divide. So I have to do that first. It is not multiply, then divide. That was actually a mistake I made a lot in school, remember. So we're going to do this part first. 81 divided by 3. And that's equal to 27. So notice how I keep rewriting everything, and I know it's like, Miss, that's so extra. Just do it. Take the time to really get into the habit of showing and capturing all your thinking. It is so easy to make a mistake here. And if you make one error, it will carry through the entire problem and it will just be wrong. So now I'm going to, again, still looking for any multiplying or dividing, and there's multiplying right here. So 27 times 2 is 54. And now all I have is adding or subtracting. So we're going to do the same thing. We have to go from left to right. So I'm going to do this one first. 4 plus 54, which is 58. And now we've simplified it to one final operation. 58 minus 2 is 56. And we are done. So notice that it's going to start off really wide, and as you simplify, it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller as you eliminate operations and simplify your problem. So hit pause so you can jot this one down into your notes, and we're going to get more practice with our order of operations. We're going to use raise for this since it's multiple choice. Which best describes the first step in evaluating the expression. So we have 4 times, and I read from top to bottom, 53 plus 1 divided by 8 minus 5 to the third power. So there's a lot happening here. And we just want to know what is the first step. Okay, so we're assigning this. This is an EE standard. Anything with order of operations, we have some EE stuff. And we've identified a lot of the key operations in there. I see multiplying, I see parentheses, I see exponents, I see adding and subtracting. So we have a lot of information in there. And this tells me I'm going to use our order of operations. So I say it to myself again. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. All right, so we're going to solve this by looking through and trying to identify which are the, how would I do this? So how would I solve through the problem? And then hopefully we can eliminate some answers. So starting out, the first thing we should look for is anything that is in the parentheses, and inside our parentheses, right over here, what's in there? It is 8 minus 5. So just by scanning, I already see right over here, subtracting 8 minus 5. That would be our first step. I can't simplify 5 to the second power. That doesn't even exist in this problem. So there's nothing to do with that. So that's just wrong. There is no 5 to the second power. It's completely wrong. Multiplying 4 times 53. I couldn't do that yet because there were other steps in the way. I can't multiply until I do our parentheses and our exponents. So this would have been after parentheses and exponents. The first reason I eliminated first, there is no 5 to the second power. And adding 53 plus 1. Adding is later in our process. But then why can I subtract first? 8 minus 5 is in parentheses. So I'm going to just abbreviate that. That would have been in the parentheses. So that's why I did that one first, unlike with D where I can't do adding till later. Okay, so hit pause. You can see how we did our reasoning with raise. And once again, as you're practicing, please make sure your thinking is visible, that you're writing out all your steps, and that you're using that visual from PEMDAS to help you do each level of the problem. All right, hit pause and jot this one down into your notes, Math Marvels. And as promised, so who's actually right in this problem? Here's the thing. People know, and I see this meme all the time on Instagram, and I see it all the time on TikTok, I see it all the time on Twitter and all the social media, because people like conflicting so you can argue back and forth. But this problem is made to make people argue because it is really badly written. I can understand why people can do this in two different ways. I see some people saying, well, this means 6 is being divided by 2. And then you are multiplying to get 1 plus 2. And I also see people say, no, the 6 is being divided by this entire thing. And that's the problem. It's so ambiguous because we don't know if 6 is being divided by just the 2 or the entire part. So I know some people that go, no, you have to divide before we multiply. And they really go hard in their reasoning with the first one. And a lot of second people argue, no, that 2 is next step parentheses. It is tied together, which is very accurate. And you're going to learn a lot more about that as you get older. So that's why I consider the second one more correct. But I will say this problem is designed to be ambiguous. It's designed to make people have to argue and justify their reasoning. And one way what we try to do is make sure that it is clear to everyone what we want our steps to be. And so that is my thinking for you. Rather than spending time saying who's right, who's wrong, I will say we just have to make sure we're writing very clear math problems so we can see the steps very clearly. Okay, and that's it for today, Math Marvels. I will see you in the next lesson. Take care.